Hi, my name is Chris Gogol. As Sue mentioned, I'm a co-founder of DeFi. That's a community of local asset managers, but I'm also a PhD candidate in computer science from the University of Zurich, where I specialize in blockchain, decentralized finance, and researching rollups. But today, my talk will be more about how DeFi and TradFi, and especially big institutions, they can collaborate together. So generally, the tokenization is speeding up. I mean, yeah, it's estimated in the future it's going to be like a 15 trillion market opportunity. I personally believe it's going to be a much higher. But actually, when you look at what's being tokenized, it's mostly, there is one asset class which is dominating, and it's bonds or both corporate bonds and government bonds, such as US treasuries, for example. And those instruments, they are interesting because they are paying yield. You are getting some interest rate when you're holding such a corporate or government bond. And those tokens, those products, they sound very similar to liquid staking tokens, which also when you hold, they are paying you rewards from the staking. And then what I will try to show you throughout that presentation, there are actually a lot of similarities between how liquid staking tokens are working and how those tokenized bonds can work in the future. Actually, when you even think about what liquid staking is, liquid staking, you can also define as a tokenized representation of Ethereum or other tokens that are being staked. It's just instead of saying tokenized stake ETH, we're simply calling it short liquid staking. So please think about it, also in context of tokenization. And then, there are big differences between DeFi and TradFi. I don't want to go into details. Maybe the most important is that TradFi is heavily regulated. It's difficult to enter, but people that are there, they are protected by the law, by the government bodies. In DeFi is very different. DeFi assumes that we are trusting in math, we trust in cryptography. UX is very difficult. You need to be a techie to be capable to use DeFi. Maybe it will change in the future. But then the natural question is, will those two worlds converge in the future into one financial system, or will we have those two parallel worlds close to each other? And generally, if we manage to converge it together, amazing things can happen. There are already many use cases for liquid staking tokens that can be applied to tokenized assets. And here there are 7 use cases how DeFi protocols can help to boost liquidity and trading volume of tokenized assets. You think about those tokenized bonds or any tokenized reward assets. I don't go into details of them. If you want, you can read my blog, where you can see it on every slide at the bottom, and there I simply describing every use case in details there. But there are 7 very cool use cases from DeFi, from AMMs, from lending, including flash loans, that can really drive the adoption of those tokenized assets. But then you might think, if there are so many potential ideas, why they are not implemented? And there are a few reasons. One of the major reasons is that those DeFi protocols don't work out of the box together with tokenized assets. If you put inside a Uniswap or inside Aave, for example, a tokenized US Treasury bond, then it will not work effectively. When it comes to AMMs, not almost all of the coupon payments will simply go to the arbitrageurs because you will be, as a LP, you will be mapped. Similar things will happen inside lending protocols. There are also some, on top of those technical concerns, there are also some legal challenges related to anti-money laundering. And finally, there is no privacy. So as you know, if you do something in DeFi, on Ethereum, or some of its L2s, everybody can actually see what you are doing there. And then there is something like Project Guardian, which is the initiative of the largest financial institutions in the world, large commercial banks, together with central banks, together with financial authorities, from Basel, Bank of International Settlement. And they are simply experimenting if some of those ideas from DeFi, from the public blockchains, they can be applied inside tokenization. And they are looking especially at that tokenized fixed income, which are those bonds that are paying coupons, similarly to liquid staking. There are many streams of that project, but there's one which is very interesting. This is actually where the University of Zurich and I'm being involved, when we are simply testing if lending protocols like Aave or Morpho, they can be used together with those tokenized bonds. So, I mean, the market is huge today in the TradFi. That lending, which in TradFi is being called a repo. It's about repurchase agreements that are settled between two banks. And in the TradFi, it works that way that one bank, for example, is taking a bond from another bank as a collateral, for example, worth 100 million, and then borrowing some cash. So once we have those bonds on a blockchain, in a tokenized representation, we could potentially be able to use Aave for that process. But there are some challenges that we are exactly investigating. Like, for example, in a traditional side, you're having a lender, so you know actually from whom you are borrowing money. In case of the DeFi protocols, like let's keep the example of Aave. It's actually the smart contract who is borrowing you the stable coins, and it's also the smart contract deciding when you are liquidated, or let's say when you are allowed to be liquidated. What are the interest rates? What are the rules? How they are changing? It's all done by the smart contract, which is causing actually big complications on the regulatory side, because you are in the lending market where there is no lender, or a smart contract is a lender. But I mean, that approach is having a huge opportunity to reduce the cost of borrowing in a traditional finance. And then there are actually more things that we are looking for. I mean, those central banks, at least some of those central banks, some institutions are actively experimenting together with DeFi protocols. There are maybe two interesting examples. The first one is about FX payments, which is the forex market. When, for example, you want to exchange euro to Swiss franc or Swiss franc to dollar, and I mean. Today it's happening in the traditional financial system. You wait, I know, at least 2 days for the money to arrive abroad. When we start to use the crypto for that, automated market makers, then simply we can do conversions within seconds, within a block time. And for example, in those projects like Mariana, there was a Curve V2 being tested for that purpose. In project Rialto, it's Uniswap V3. And I mean, as we already have stable coins with different currencies, I mean, those things, they are actually more real than it was in the past. And also when it comes to the regulatory challenges with the anti-money laundering, there is an ongoing project called Project Mandala, in which, let's say, banks or central banks are using zero knowledge proofs to simply check what's happening with their tokens. It's like a ERC20 token, which is having additional logic, and inside that additional logic, there are some ZK proofs added that are validating, let's say, the history of every token, and checking if everything was compliant in the past, checking currently if everything is compliant, but without revealing any private information about senders and receivers. So, I mean, those things are coming soon. And then there is another topic, which is AI and AI agents that are also coming to decentralized finance. I mean, they are needed not only for the those TradFi products like those tokenized bonds. I mean, in general, DeFi needs those AI engines to increase its efficiency. I mean, in the coming weeks, we will see Uniswap v4 coming with the hooks that will be actually perfect to train different AI models. So in a one stream, you can use AI in DeFi simply to drive that optimization. But also there is a second thing where you can use it for the fraud prevention. So I'm not sure if you remember, but there was a movie with Tom Cruise called Minority Report, in which the AI was used to predict the crime before it happened. And actually we already have a technology that is capable to do so. This is a project of some of my master students from the university, in which they use the machine learning models and tools like ChatGPT to simply scan different Telegram chats. And based on the messages that were actually being sent on that Telegram chats and changes in the order book, they were able to predict 60% of the pump and dump schemes before they actually happened. Because there are some patterns in the messages, in what's happening inside order book, and you can, with actually higher and higher accuracy, predict those things before they happen. And then maybe the concluding slide. So if you like DeFi and that focus on institutions, on their tools, we are doing a site event today. It's from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. and you are very welcome to join us. I mean, you don't have to register, you can just come. Mind the number of that room. It's on this floor, it's just a little farther, like 5 minutes away from here. This is a very big building. And we are going to have like amazing speakers from the Swiss government, from the Minister of Finance of Switzerland, a lot of banks, but also we have Uniswap presenting there, guys from the ZK Sync, from Arbitrum, Circuit, some VCs. So it will be a very, very exciting event. And then thank you. If you have any questions, let's connect. I don't have if I have time for questions. If yes, I can take them. Thank you.
So I have a quick question regarding the hi. Thanks for the presentation, Krzysztof. So quick question about the it seemed that you said that one of the blockers for TradFi to use the lending borrowing markets is lack of KYC, and compliance matters because the funds are unknown. A few years ago, Aave had like the ARC product. Also, Compound had like this more institutional attempt of having permissioned lending protocols. How do you see this evolving? Because like they didn't really kick off. And I think like right now there is a perfect environment for this. So how do you see this evolving and unlocking the adoption of TradFi funding?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you, Łukasz. That's actually an excellent question about those previous projects like Aave Arc or Ondo. But there, I mean, the issue with those projects was that you created a DeFi lending protocol, and every participant of that protocol was KYC'd. And this was simply killing the DeFi composability. Because one of the biggest advantages of DeFi is that you have a token and you can use it at Aave, Uniswap, Curve, you can leverage it, and simply when you let's say secure one protocol, then you are killing that composability. So it's also difficult to work for a lending protocol without access to AMM or to any DEX, and that was the major reason why it didn't fly. We need to figure out how to do it compliance that will allow for the DeFi composability, like maybe something with the tokens or maybe something with the blockchains. Oh, I mean, it is a little in that Mandala project with the zero knowledge, because there you have extension of a ERC20 token, and then you can use it across different DeFi protocols. Come.
Any other questions? We can still take one or two more. If this is not the case, we thank you,
Thank you.
Chris, for this great speech again.